This is the Not Bitter, Just Better podcast.
The Everton our way.
Straight from the street end.
Howdy Blues, welcome to Not Bitter, Just Better Everton podcast. Mr. Johnny Seven here as always in another random room, trying to pinch minutes here and there to get these recorded. It's proven tricky at the moment, but I'm committed. So today's episode, looking back at an unfortunate defeat against Chelsea last weekend, bit of Everton news of the week, and looking ahead to the final ever Saturday 3:00 game at Goodison this Saturday coming up, and what an occasion that will prove to be. And my usual levels of waffle in between. The Saturday game, 12:30 kickoff, and it was another one of those, for me, another one of those pain in the arse games, like where other plans around it. So out Friday night and feeling a little bit worse for wear on Saturday morning. Although I did pace myself. Do you know what? I seem to talk about heavy sessions quite a lot on here. I promise. I'm through the week. I'm quite sensible. But the weekends, work hard through the week and let your hair down, so to speak, of a weekend. And so Saturday was no different. That the 12:30 kickoff meant that could watch at home, and it was on TNT, so it was easy enough to not scramble around and try and watch through nefarious means, and just have a few scoops at home before heading out and catching up with people. So town was chocker as well, wasn't it? It's a lovely day, and the weather's picking back up again, so loads of people out and about. Everton lineup. So we knew that Tarkowski was likely to miss it, and it was confirmed that he's probably going to miss the rest of the season now. And how disappointing is that? So, about 111 games in a row, and now he's going to miss the last ever game at Goodison. So disappointed for him. And hopefully, I'm not sure whether Coleman will be part of the club when it comes round to Bramley in August. So it looks like Tarkowski will be leading the team out come August time, if he's back by then. Jordan Pickford was selected as captain in his place on Saturday against Chelsea. The rest of the lineup. Patterson came in. O'Brien moved infield to partner Jared Branthwaite as centre half. Mikalenko, Garner, Jack Harrison, Decore, and Njayi, and then Beto came back into the side after Brozier started last week, as Brozier was ineligible to play against his parent club. Chelsea team: Sanchez, Cucurella, Colwell, Chalobah, and Caicedo. Caicedo playing fullback. Enzo Fernandez, who was their captain. Romeo Lavia, Madueke, Cole Palmer, and Pedro Neto, and Nicholas Jackson up top for them. And Chelsea started off better early in the first half. Neto lashed on to a through ball from Lavia, but Pickford was quick off the line to smother and collect. Madueke cut inside on the left and unleashed a low shot, forcing Pickford into a full stretch save. And then just after halfway in the first half, unfortunately, the Blues go 1-0 down after Pickford picks out a decent enough ball to Beto, dropping deep around the centre circle. He has a couple of touches, but then is dispossessed by Chalobah, comes in, nicks the ball. Beto flounders and looks for a free kick, but Chalobah carries on and finds Jackson, who had scored in 13 games beforehand. Of course, do you know what? The commentators went off trying to cry these in. Jackson, 14th game, 13 without a goal. Cole Palmer, 15 games. How many times did he mention that? And it's one of those. It's an Everton thing. I'm sure every club fan thinks that if there's ever a drought to be broken, that they're the team that it gets broken against. But I'm sure the statistics will show that Everton, more often than any other club, are the club that takes this. maybe I don't know. But yeah, Jackson, really nice finish actually, and you wouldn't have thought he was on that much of a drought with the finish. Beat Pickford down into the bottom corner. Pickford was full stretch as well. So um, the Blues working hard, but didn't really have much of a sniff. Decore had the first attempt heading wide from across by Mikalenko, and he really should have done a little bit better. He looked really disappointed to not make as good a connection as he could have done. And go into half time. 1-0 down, make a few. So Alcaraz then comes on for Ndiaye, and then we try step it up a little bit more. Alcaraz gets on the ball a little bit more. Ndiaye, yeah, he doesn't look like he's back to full fitness yet. He's not playing with as much confidence, and yeah, we probably needs a few more games before. So you see, for players like Ndiaye, who you know is going to be a big part of things next season, you'd imagine the season end can't come quick enough. Hopefully get a little bit of a run of games back under his belt, and then use pre-season to get fully fit. Uh, in the 63rd minute, McNeil comes on for Harrison, and also Beto has one of Everton's first really good effort of the game. Powerful strike, very similar to Sanchez's effort. Jackson's goal actually, but Sanchez was able to get down. It wasn't quite as good a finish. It wasn't quite as in the corner as Jackson's was, and Sanchez made a really really good save. And then Beto, that was Beto's last contribution because he went off, and Chamiti came on. Also, at the same time, Patterson went off for Ashley Young, and at that time, Patterson didn't really have that good a game. He didn't. There was one where he played a back pass to Pickford, nearly put Jackson through. Luckily, Jackson misread it a little bit, but Pickford read it really well and was able to snuff out the danger. But Patterson, he's really got to take those opportunities because everyone's calling for him to get a go. And last week when Michael Keane came on for Tarkovsky, everyone was saying that maybe the better move would have been Patterson to come on at right back and put O'Brien in the centre, and that's what happened this time. And Patterson didn't really. You want players to come in and like take the opportunity, and he didn't. So it's going to be interesting to see who will start Ipswich, which I'll come on to a little bit later on. But so Ashley Young comes on, and we started to do all right, pressing a little bit more forwards, and but it wasn't really enough. Cucurella had a decent chance for them, decent effort, which bobbled wide. And then towards the end of the game, McNeil, who had come on for Harrison, as mentioned before, he has an effort, and it's a really excellent save from Sanchez again. He's going the opposite way. McNeil kind of catches it on the volley after the cutback, and Sanchez is going the opposite way, and it wasn't quite. Again, it wasn't quite in the corner, and he managed to change his direction and make an excellent save. And it looked a set to go in, but unfortunately, and then that was it. Unfortunately, the game finished 1-0 to Chelsea, and I've heard this mentioned in other places about, and I thought this at the time as well, and it's not been mentioned, but in that first half as well. Sorry, in the the first half, uh, through ball goes through, and Mikalenko and Sanchez collide with each other, and it's given as a free kick to them because they deemed that Sanchez caught the ball and Mikalenko ran into him. But if you watch it again, before they make contact, Sanchez has already dropped the ball, and therefore he's ran into Mikalenko, and he didn't have control of the ball. So therefore, how's that a foul on him if he didn't have control of the ball? If it's a coming together, goalies are protected a little bit, but no one mentioned it in commentary again, and of course they didn't because they had Joe Cole on, and what's up with that? Why Joe Cole, who's already got a red shy connection, so you've got nothing going for Everton there anyway. But then he kept referring to Chelsea as we. You can't do that as a commentator. Come on, I don't even think Carragher and Neville do that. And yeah, there we go. Anyway, um, didn't get a sniff anyway. So unfortunately, Blues go down 1-0 against Chelsea, who have had a lot more to play for than Everton. The possession, Chelsea 54.5 to Everton's 45.5, which is quite high for us on the road. Shots on target, Chelsea had 10 shots, 7 on target. Everton had 6 with 3 on target. Corners, Chelsea 10 to Everton's 2. Our 2 were just useless anyway. Saves that Sanchez had to make 3 and Pickford had to make 6. And then fouls, Chelsea 11 to Everton's 10. And in the post-match reactions, Moisey has criticised Beto for losing possession, leading to the goal, and emphasised the need for better ball retention. And I'll go with that. He's really got to do better there. And you can see, you can sense his frustration because the way that Beto has been, when he did have that good spell of scoring, we were putting the ball beyond him and getting him to run onto it. We don't want him dropping deep in between the centre circle and our penalty box. We can't have him playing with his back to goal. Well, it wasn't even his back to goal; it was his back in our own half. Like, he couldn't have been much further away from their goal. So, um, but now it shows the level of frustration there if he's having to drop that deep. So we need some better outlets there, for sure. But Beto definitely needs to do better. He got his first touch to get it under control, second touch to try and find to pop it off somewhere, but then took another touch and it was nicked off him. So he really needs to make better decisions there, and he can't. We can't dwell on the ball that much. And Maresca, Chelsea manager, and he said that the second half dip in Chelsea's form was due to the weather. All right, mate. I don't know whether people saw where he was sat as well. He had a touchline ban, and he couldn't have got a worse seat. He was just sat like behind all the press box and everything, and he's just looking through a little couple of railings, like about that much. So, um, probably a better view if you're an Everton fan, to be honest. So yeah, unfortunately, the Blues go down but Chelsea. No matter what, Chelsea is still up there, aren't they? They're still a good side. The amount of money that's gone into them. Uh, we never do well against them. I think it was the Paul Rideout scored the last time we won against them, and that was Joe Royal's second game in charge when we won 3 on the bounce, including the shite, then Chelsea, and I can't remember the other one. But that's how long ago. So, and that was the season we went on to win the FA Cup. So, yeah, we're talking 30 years. So yeah, I'll leave that there. I'd say, unfortunately, Chelsea had more to play for. Again, we didn't look woeful. It's just that gap in qualities showing a little bit more now. So but we still could have nicked a point. Yeah. So I'll come back in a minute with some Everton news.
This is Bob Latchford. I'm not bitter, just better.
News.
So Everton news of the week. First bit is more about the ownership and financial development. So you can see they're really trying to build a team behind the scenes of experts and big wig players. And one of those has joined the ownership group is NBA Hall of Famer, and he's the Dallas Mavericks head coach Jason Kidd. And joined. I didn't know this was the name of Everton's ownership group, Roundhouse Capital Holdings. And Kidd has expressed enthusiasm about contributing to the club's future, especially with the upcoming move to the new stadium. Hopefully, he will have some good ideas about just bringing different levels of commerce into the club, and we can start. We're already going to be looking at increased profits with the move to the new stadium. So just keep on building on that, and keep on building on doing things the right way and looking upwards and looking financially upward as well, rather than trying to having to worry about the financial fair play all the time. Some of the transfer rumours, apparently we have an interest in Wilfred Ndidi, and he's said to have a 9 million relegation release clause, making him an attractive option as Leicester are going down. So possibility there, a lot of Premier League experience, and 9 million isn't overly breaking the bank, is it? So it could be one to watch. Thomas Souček being linked again with an Everton move to be reunited with Moisey. I thought he was going to be out of contract this season, but it's not. It's 2027, so you're going to be looking at quite a healthy fee to bring him in. So if you look at the fullbacks and wingers who are going to be out, you're potentially looking at Coleman and Young, who are out of contract, and then Lindstrom and Harrison, who are on loan and are going to be probably returning to the parent clubs. So that's a massive job on our hands to replace just those four in wide areas. Some good news on potential returning player. Harrison Armstrong has been nominated for Derby County's Young Player of the Year, despite only being there for a little short period, and he's made an amazing impression there. So hopefully he might be ready to come and push for a 13th place over the summer, and be around Moisey's plans come August, and that could save a little bit, but you still want another season, another experienced player in ahead of him, so he can push on and maybe overtake. One of those players could be another player for the future. Could potentially be Chris Rigg, we've mentioned before. Sunderland's 17-year-old midfielder has been highly linked with Everton, as has Liam Delap again from Ipswich. He's looking about 30 million, and again that one doesn't seem to want to go away. That again, he's done it this year, but he's only done it this year. But he's young, and if you're going to go for the 21-year-old who's done it for one season in the Premier League versus a 21-year-old who's done it for 0 seasons in the Premier League for half the price from Europe, what's the bigger risk? It's a tricky one, that, isn't it? So I think it might be worth a shout. Another one who's linked constantly, and it seems to just pick up more and more pace and then disappear for a little while and then pick up more and more pace again. Richarlison been linked with a move to Everton again. And again, as I said before, I'd love that to happen. I think players can suddenly find another level of fitness if they are happy. And I think him and Everton were happy together. So fingers crossed. Janet Brandtwaite's being linked away, and two of the clubs he's been linked with. Why would he go to either of these clubs above Everton? Is beyond me. Man United and Tottenham. Everton value him at over 50 million and the rest. And yeah, but either of those clubs, I just can't see. Why would you? Why would he do that? It doesn't make any sense. The other news, I've added this in. Moyes has likened the Freakin Group's acquisition of Everton to a new lover, emphasising the need for careful management and strategic investment. So that's what you have to do with a new lover, haven't you? So, all right, Moisey, if you say so. But he's right in the sense, isn't he? The need for careful management and strategic investment, and that's some stuff we haven't had in the past when we've had new ownership. So hopefully a little bit more carefully managed this time round. Okay, so quick fire news of the week, and I'm going to come back. I'm cutting this fine today. I'm going to come back in a sec with a preview of the Ipswich game coming up.
This is the Not Bitter, Just Better Everton podcast. If you haven't already, go and like us on Facebook, facebook.com/EFC Not Bitter, Just Better, or you can find us on Twitter at Just Better EFC.
Okay, so there you have our social media links. Make sure you go and like, follow, subscribe, whatever it is, whatever platform, and just keep contributing. I have been again. I've been slow again this week. It's just juggling, and when I go back to work, you just get hit with like 2 weeks of not being there. So a little bit slow again, but um, yeah, we're still there or thereabouts, and I'll still be chipping away. Um, this week's going to be a busy one. So Friday night we've got the so Paul, as I mentioned before, from Scored Bar, he's got his final Goodison tour on the Friday night. I think it's Snods, maybe Snods. I think last time it was Parkinson, Mountfield, Barry Orr, and Pat Van Den now. So we should be going to that. We're meeting people beforehand, and whether we're going to be split across the two trips or what, or we'll be whatever. So that'll be amazing to see. I haven't been behind the scenes as good as I went with work a while ago, and we were up in the corporate bit in the park end, and that was great. On that little Sky in the Sky Gantry, the Sky TV box and a BTV T box, and also on the little camera shaky area where God, that was a bit wobbly. But this time, behind the scenes proper, and I haven't done that for I don't know, maybe 15 years. Many moons ago, my parents had an advertising board there, so we got the uh, corporate hospitality, and we got to go on the pitch and have a kick around and all that. So that was great. Scored four down the park end, and not many people can say that. So yeah, so that was good. This time round, I doubt we'll be able to go on the pitch considering there's a game the next day. But yeah, it'll still be. I'm hoping to get loads of video footage and maybe even an interview or two with that. We'll see. But Saturday is going to be chaos. So you can probably tell that I'm a little bit of a nerd as well as doing all the footy stuff. And it's Comic Con Liverpool, and it always clashes with a Everton game. So I've got a weekend ticket. I'll be going to that after being doing the 6 hour bar at Segura following the tour. So I'll be doing that about 8 o'clock, half eight, Saturday morning. I might do a dress up, who knows? A little bit of a Joker wig or something, I don't know. And then scoot along to Segura Bar. Then Everton's final Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff game at Goodison Park. And yeah, I mean, as I mentioned last time, we were at an event at Segura, and one of the lads brought his laptop, and playing the YouTube videos, like memories of Goodison. And I was well and up there, and that was with a few games left, and now the last Saturday game are probably going to be a few scoops in by then as well. I'm starting off early, and I just I'm dreading it. Of course, I want to take it all in, but in a sense, I'm dreading it. I just don't know how I'm going to react. Um, but it's going to be great, and I can't remember what they're calling it. The 1878 there again, and it's an Everton tribute day or blue day, and people be encouraged to wear blue, whether that's home shirts or just blue in general. But it's going to be a massive event, a massive occasion. Um, yeah, I'm starting to go already here, aren't I? So Ipswich, the visitors, relegated last week, 18th in the league with just 21 points. The reverse fixture last year, Everton run out 2-0 victors with Keane and Ndiaye scoring. Um, we'd have that again if Keane gets another sniff, which I doubt he will. Um, Still 13th in the league, Everton. We showed some resilience, but unfortunately fell short in the last couple of games. We'll be without Tarkovsky and Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin's apparently close to returning to training after his issues with his hamstring, but unlikely to feature. So potential lineup: Pickford probably going to be captain again. Then you're going to be looking at Branthwaite and O'Brien again, and Mikalenko left back. But the right back issue: is he going to go with Patterson again? I don't think he was impressed with him at all. He yoinked him off after just over an hour. Um, and I don't know whether that was just resting him or he just. I don't think he fancies him at all. If he did, he'd be getting a go, wouldn't he? He got to go due to the circumstances. But now I think he'll have more trust in Young. And the argument is there. If Young's out of contract, then should he just be playing Patterson now for the last few games? But not if he's not playing well. It's a tricky one. You can't see him going with anyone other than Garner Gay. Maybe James Garner though. I thought James Garner played. He was intercepting a lot more. He just needs to contribute a little bit more going forwards again for me. He's intercepting a lot, picking up loose balls a lot more. But that's what Garner does. That's what other midfielders can do. We need him to offer something different. And McNeil showed a little bit more again, so he could potentially come into the starting 11, and then Decore and Nzai are likely to be the other midfielders. And what did Beto do enough, other than the mistake, to keep his place up top, or is Chimiti going to get a sniff? And again, you know, is Chimiti going to get a go? Is Alcaraz going to get a go? Because he started 4 games now. There's not enough games left for him to trigger the 9 games that was in the contract for us to the obligation to buy him. So if we plays the last 4, then we're not obliged. So we can get a full reading on him, and surely what we've seen of him so far. He looks like he could potentially be a proper Everton player, someone we can get behind. He's got a little bit of bite. He can run with the ball, a little bit of skill, good long range effort, a little bit of vision, good little fiery character as well. So, hopefully we'll see him. Hopefully we'll see him from the start. I just don't know who for. Um, yeah. Ipswich, I don't really know a lot about their players apart from Delap. We've got Alex Palmer in goal, Williams, Wolfenden, Burgess, Leif Davis, Morsey and Luongo in midfield. Attacking midfielders Wes Bairn, Connor Chaplin, and Nathan Broadhead. And then, as I mentioned before, forwards Liam Delap, who's one we're going to have to keep an eye on. We we're going to have to see. It is likely that we're going to see Jake O'Brien at centre back again, but. He might not be impressed with his right back options at all. So could bring Michael Keane back into centre back and put O'Brien back to the right back. I imagine there'll be a level of fume if that happens, but I don't think any team he picks will be void of fume. So we'll see. McKenna may use this match to assess, give some of his young players and see how players can work and react and put themselves in the spotlight for next year. And so we'll see. But that 3 p.m. kickoff. So I imagine there'll be a few scoops after, and then a few more, and then maybe heading back to embrace my non-footy side in the geeky company of the Comic-Con after party, and with what's his name, Lee Francis or Lee Harris? The guy, Avid Median guy, Keith Lemon guy. He's DJing the after party, so that should be fun. And then Comic-Con round 2 on the 4th of May, the Sunday. May the 4th be with you. And then Bank Holiday Monday. So anyway, busy. I'm just finishing just in time for me to go now. And so I'm winding down. Thanks for listening as always. Social media, get on it. I will get this out there tonight, Wednesday the 30th of April. And then I will catch us next week. Hopefully talking about an Everton victory, because I haven't for a couple of weeks. See you later. Come on, you Blues.